Welcome, Tara. Come on in. What is it? I'm so excited to finally meet you. I am so inspired by you. Welcome to Witness Worldwide. It's a strange thing that I'm doing, but it's, I guess, a fun way to have people like you over.
It's totally cool. And you look adorable, sweetie.
Thank you. I just woke up. I brushed my teeth for you.
Aww.
And these are some of my friends and coworkers.
Hi there.
Hi.
Good morning.
And Tara, how do you say your last name?
Tamara. Your name is
Tamara.
Hi there.
Nice
And you're Tara Brach.
Brach.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Aya. Nice to meet you. Welcome.
Great. Pleasure.
Butter.
Sweetheart.
She wants that.
I've had poodles and that size dog. It's fun.
It's fun.
Really fun.
My dog Nugget is just having a little bathing session right now. So we're going to go up and have a chat. Can we have a water, please, for Tara?
Yes. Would you like room temperature water or cold?
The room is fine.
Room?
Thanks.
We're going to go for a walk. Tara, where are you from?
New Jersey, and now I'm in D.C.
Amazing. Wow, what's that like to be in D.C., that energy?
You know, where I am, and the people.
Sticky.
Okay. Yeah. DC, it's intense right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of anxiety and agitation and so on.
And fear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's big.
It's big. Fear is a factor. Here,
what a lovely space
I'm going to
for
move
meditation.
this back here so we can sit close to each other if you don't mind.
Can I take off my shoes?
Do whatever makes you the most comfortable. And I just want to speak with you for a little bit before we start whatever our meditation is that we're going to do that you'll probably explain. I'm so excited to meet you in person, human to human. A woman that I love and trust and is a therapist of mine and has really kind of changed, helped me find some answers. Because that's what therapists do, is like they're just mirrors, they help you find answers. She introduced me to you and some of your meditations, your mindful meditations, and I've seen some of your talks online, and I want to put everybody on tarabrach.com. You should check out tarabrach.com, because yesterday we did TM, which is something I do all the time, Transcendental Meditation. I loved it. But what we'll do today is different than that, and I'll let you explain it, but I want everybody, and I know they'll put it on they're putting it on this little thing right now, tarabrach.com, and I just want to hear about your story a little bit. We have probably about 10 minutes before we can go into a meditation about your story, how you got to this place, what led you to this place, and why, because the ashram, for 10 years in an ashram is just like, whoa, that is what we call commitment.
Yeah. So, just even one step back, what drew me, I've been watching how you have evolved, and I just want to start there, that you're caring for the world and your willingness to be real is what we need. So I just wanted to let you know
Thank you.
I really honor that.
Thank you.
Yeah. And
I appreciate it.
Yeah, and part of what drew me is the word witness, which brings me to what, the practice of mindfulness is that.
What is mindfulness?
Yeah, so mindfulness really
because people hear that.
Yeah, the word's out there, and there's a lot of different definitions.
Sure. But
one way of understanding it is that mindfulness is being a kind witness to the life that's right here. Mm-hmm. And it's the life that's inside us, and it's the life that's right here, and the world. Mm-hmm. And it really, if we're going to respond to our world with love, we have to bear witness. So mindfulness is that, but because we're in a trance so much, we can't witness each other if our minds are off thinking other things. Mm-hmm. We can if we're in the grip of fear.
If we're chained to the rhythm.
What's that?
If we're chained to the rhythm.
Exactly right. Or if we're like planning what we're going to say.
Right.
You know.
Is that manipulative or it's chess playing?
It's out of fear.
Right.
You know, we're trying to look good or whatever.
Yeah. I've done it so many times and in so many different relationships.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
So, in order to be intimate, we have to be able to have that enough quietness and enough presence that we can pay attention.
Yeah.
So, and, you know, research says now 47% of the time our mind's wandering. And when we're wandering, we're less happy. So, you know, it's like, how do you come
present?
back?
How do you be present? How do we be present in this world?
Right. And so that's why the meditation's basically saying, because we're kind of addicted to just cyber and overthinking and over-controlling, how do we come back? So
I'm addicted to it. Look at what I'm doing now, in a way, you know. But like,
it can be used in service of good.
Okay, yeah, no, that's what I think too. Is like everything has a yin and a yang.
Exactly right.
You know, and the internet was not created to be like this force of evil. It was created, I think, in some pure forms and to help and to communicate.
I completely agree.
And you know, some people take everything. You could take anything and pervert it.
That's right.
You know, you really could. It's what's your intention behind your action. And so I think, you know, I'm just like everyone else. I'm addicted to my phone and I sleep by it. And I'm going to try and change that. Once I get out of this place, I'm going to change that. I don't have my phone this weekend, which has been like amazing because I get this kind of like time back to myself to process and to imagine and to daydream and to have train of thought.
That's right.
And even just like feel my feelings and not feel my feeling, not do actions and see like, okay, how is that going to ripple effect? Or is somebody going to text me or blah, blah, blah. Even though I can go on Twitter and I can see a ripple effect, still like I can't see what really like my friends' friends are thinking. And, you know, it's interesting how like sometimes like as performers, sometimes we're performing just for the aftermath.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
we'll go on an award show and we'll be like, okay, well, we're doing this and this is what everyone's going to say the next day. Or, you know, you're not living in the moment.
Exactly. You're leaning forward into the what's next. And most of us are on our way to the next thing.
Yeah.
It's like we're doing this segment, but then there's the this and the this. And it's hard to really, like, how fully do we let this moment matter as much as any moment in the whole world?
When you try and get present, it's just like, it almost like...
Yeah.
Scares you.
It does. Well, that's why we run from it. Like, there's a story about people bringing their problems to this great sage, and they have to go through all the wilderness and, you know, really, really rough traveling to get there. But they get there, and they tell them their troubles, and he'd say, "Okay, I'm going to swear you to secrecy, and then I'll respond." And they'd agree, and he'd say, "Ask yourself, what are you unwilling to feel?" Just ask yourself, what are you unwilling to feel like in this moment? And what most people come to is that fear. Mm-hmm. In fact, there's an article in today's paper that says we've shifted from the age of Prozac to the age of Xanoff, or it's anxiety.
What was Prozac for exactly?
Depression.
Xanax
is anxiety. So,
right.
You know,
everybody has anxiety.
And
that's why I feel like meditation is such an incredible tool.
Right. So that's where we're going. That's where I thought we'd go. Is like, okay, so how does meditation help to bring us back home? It's like we leave
bring us
home.
Present.
Yeah.
Tell me some about your story and why did you decide it? I mean, like, have you always been this way? Like,
no.
What
I was
called
a hard
you
driving type A.
You were type A?
Oh, well, and I still am, sort of. This is just between you and me and our friends.
And the whole world.
Right. But it's a little shifted. So the deal is that I started meditating over 40 years ago. Mm-hmm. I was in college and, you know, social activist, and I love partying and nature adventures and, you know, the whole thing. And I wasn't at home with myself. Something was missing.
Were you running? Were you running?
I was running away from
you.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So, and some of the signs: binge eating, hated my body, depressive bouts, and so on. So I got introduced to meditation and yoga and started doing them. And I can honestly say it was not like some sudden white light, etc. But over time, I shifted from really being dominated by an inner critic to resting in much more of a kind witnessing place.
Mm-hmm.
And
you can be your own worst critic.
Exactly.
You stand
right.
in your own way.
And I call it the trance of unworthiness. And that I've spent a lot of decades really looking at that with people, that even people that seem super successful, there's a whole thing of feeling the imposter syndrome, that underneath that, I don't deserve it, something's wrong with me, that kind of thing.
Oh my gosh, I think you're hitting it on the head. I mean, a lot of people, not even just in my position, but I think a lot of people don't feel enough.
Well, exactly right. There's this...
What is enough? Who created the line?
Yeah.
What's the standard? And who are they?
Yeah.
And why are you listening to them?
Exactly right.
Why don't you listen to you? Like, what is enough?
We're very programmed. There's a cartoon that has this dog with a psychiatrist, and the dog saying, it's always good dog this and good dog that, but is it ever great dog?
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like we are never meeting a standard.
I'm going to say great dog to Nugget all day today. No. Great
dog.
Right.
Doggy affirmations.
Yeah.
But you're exactly right. We live with that. There's one woman, her mother was dying, and the last thing that her mother said before she died was, all my life I thought that something was wrong with me. And that was her last words.
No.
And the reason I'm saying it, because it's such a ugh, is that it actually motivated this woman to okay, we don't have to live like that.
No.
If you think of how many moments you can sacrifice the moment to thinking that you're not doing things right, or that somebody else isn't thinking well of you, how many moments do we lose? It's
Take
kind of
our moments back.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what's empowering. In fact, that's what you're doing is empowering, because it's like modeling. If we can be real, if we can just be who we are, actually, we end up feeling more at home, and the world responds better.
Yeah. I really just want people to be their authentic selves, whatever way that they come, a come as you are situation. And I feel like, sometimes we live in a world where it's all filters.
Exactly.
I just woke up. I'm not wearing any makeup. Sure, I'm wearing a couple of fake eyelash extensions, but that was my choice and I like it very much. But, I like to show this side because I think I showed the painted side a lot, and show the side it takes a lot of preparation, and that's good and fine, and I love that, and I still love doing that, but there has to be a balance in things, and people should feel safe enough just to show this.
Exactly.
Whatever this is, in their own way.
And it takes really learning to pay attention to their inner life, because if we keep running away from what's here, we don't find the place of power. I use this term, the sacred pause. This culture is so speedy. We don't just stop. We don't create space where we can actually take in each other, or take in beauty, or really sense either our loneliness or our passion. Mm-hmm. We just don't slow down. So meditation is training in slowing down.
It's like an exercise.
It is an exercise.
Yeah. A mental exercise.
Yeah.
It's good for the mind.
And the heart.
And the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want to practice a little?
I would love to practice, and I would like to know just tell me a little bit about what we're going to be doing right now for the next 10 or 20 minutes.
I thought we'd do two different practices.
Sure.
We'll do one and then talk a little bit more.
Perfect.
And then do another.
And
the second one, I'll actually guide you and ask and have you speak out loud a little, so that you get a sense of, and people that are watching us get a sense of how it can go.
And anyone that's watching
can join us.
In
fact, please join us.
Please join us. If you're watching on this beautiful Saturday and you want to do a meditation with me and Tara Brach, who's amazing, you don't need to know any mantra. you just, I guess, just listen, and she'll guide you, and she'll just guide you. And she does these guided meditations on tarabrach.com. You can find all of them, and you can follow her on Twitter at tarabrach.com, TRABRACH. And she does all these, and this is how I connected with her. So they're all there. So it's not a one-time deal. It's so exciting.
No, this is fun. So yeah, in fact,
you can do it on your bed.
You can do it lying
anywhere.
down, or sitting up, or standing, or however you want.
Standing even.
Oh yeah. In fact, think of it. The way I think of it is, meditation is a state of heart mind that you really want all the time, which is always being awake, open-hearted, clear.
And it's not about this.
No. This can be a useful posture if you want to have it, but it's really about a state of heart and mind, and you don't have to belong to any religion.
Is it religious? No.
Yeah, and there's not one meditation. Just like saying exercise, there's not one style of exercise. Well, there's all these meditations, and they all do different stuff.
That's right.
So,
and a lot of them are really, really good.
Exactly.
And really, really helpful.
Yeah.
But some people can't do CrossFit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or some people can't swim or whatever. They don't want to. So there's so many choices.
And it fits different personalities and needs.
Yeah.
In fact, there's some meditations I'll do when I'm scared that I'll just do.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Just meditations for when I'm afraid.
Oh, that would be so fun to do.
We'll start right now.
Okay.
So this is if you have some anxiety. And
sure do.
I think every human body has it. And, that's why we have a nervous system, right? So the beginning of meditation is to find some comfortable way of sitting or standing. And I'm going to close my eyes with you. And come into stillness. And you might just feel your feet on the floor, where the feet contact ground or cushion or whatever, carpet. Just feel pressure, warmth, the weight of your feet. And feel your body sitting here. And notice that you're breathing. And begin by extending the breath. So let's breathe together, breathing in a nice, long, deep breath, filling the chest and the lungs. And then a slow out breath, really slow, so that you can feel the sensations of letting go. Very, very slow. Feel it from the inside out, letting go. And then an in-breath again, filling the chest and the lungs, long and deep. And again, that slow out breath, same length as the in-breath. And again, filling the chest and lungs with the in-breath. And sense with the out-breath a kind of letting go, as if you could just soften down the whole length of your body. Letting go, letting go. And again, a nice, full, deep in-breath. And a slow out-breath. And just continue for some more moments. It's as if 6 seconds for the in-breath, 6 seconds for the out-breath. An even in-breath, an even out-breath. And as you're doing it, Katie, let the in-breath be more even. It doesn't have to be a real muscular in-breath. Nice. And then letting go of the directing of the breath, and let the breath be natural now. And just sense that you can continue to be aware of the breath and relax with the breath. but let the body breathe itself. Sense with the in-breath the possibility of just opening to receive, and with the out-breath, a gentle releasing and settling. Natural breath. And you can begin to scan through your body and let go of obvious tension by starting with the eyes and just softening the eyes, feeling that you're smiling into the eyes. The outer corners lifted slightly. A slight smile at the mouth. And explore sensing the inside of the mouth smiling. And this is a way that we send a message to our nervous system to relax that fight, flight, freeze, be at ease. Feel that smile and just feel the inside of the mouth, sensations, let the jaw be relaxed. You might sense the tongue filling the lower jaw, palate. And relax down to the root of the tongue. The eyes are smiling and the mouth. You can imagine smiling into your heart, just letting a smile spread through your heart. Sense the space that creates. You might allow the shoulders to fall away from the ears, just a little bit more, relaxing the shoulders. Feeling from the inside out the sensations there. It can be helpful to imagine ice melting to water. And then water to gas. Let the hands rest in this easy, effortless way. Feel the hands from the inside out. You might soften them a little and feel the tingling and aliveness there. Chest is open. Let the belly be soft. Relaxing down through the pelvic region and then down through the legs, the feet. So that if you opened your lens of attention, you can feel this whole body as a field of sensation. Vibrating, tingling. Alive. You might imagine and sense that smile just filling every cell of the body and extending outward. Sense the presence that's here. That witnessing awareness. Gently present with whatever's going on. Sensations and sounds. And the movement of the breath. And just know this as the source of who you are, the source of creativity, of clear thinking and wisdom, and of love. This wakeful presence. Now, as you're ready, you might take another full breath. Bring that presence with you as you open your eyes, and just notice the colors and the shapes, the space around you. Continuing to bring a kind of witnessing and clarity to what's right here.
Thank you so much. I was feeling a little anxious. So I literally, that helped me let go of all that. I was just too in my head, and I wasn't in my body. So happy. Thank you. Because anxiety is real.
It's real. And it really helps to know that it's not my anxiety, it's the anxiety that's really living through the culture. It's not like there's something wrong with us for it. Because I think a lot of people feel anxious and then feel like...
ashamed of it.
Exactly right.
It's okay.
Yeah, yeah. And people are scared of each other. Like, we're so afraid of each other's judgment, you know? It's
I know.
And here we are, you know, and you and I, who are just so inclined to totally embrace each other, and yet and also a world that we know is like, basically everybody wants to connect and open their hearts.
Everyone wants to connect. They just don't know who is safe enough to connect with.
And the habit is to mistrust and to fear that the habit is to think something's wrong with me and people will find out.
But I think that's also what we're sold.
Yeah,
I agree. We're sold this idea that you should be fearful of people, or that people come in one way, or everybody wants something from you, or you should expect something from everyone, or just all these untruths.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not real.
They're not real, but they're programmed in really deeply. And our parents and past generations, you know, they're
how long do you think they've been programmed?
I think humans emerged fearful because we feel a sense of separation. Like, we are designed to feel separation. And in that if you think of most moments, there's still a sense of a me in here and the world out there.
Sure.
And we move through things with that sense, and to the degree that we feel like I'm, you know, on my own in this all, there's going to be a sense of either being threatened or needing something from the world. Mm-hmm. So I think it started with just our evolutionary tendency. Sure. And we fight and flight and freeze. And I think
when this came into play, when we, you know, because we're animals, but we have this frontal lobe.
Exactly.
That's what separates everything.
And that evolves us so that we can actually witness that animal primal brain going. We can witness it and love ourselves into healing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so cool.
It's so fun.
And it really just takes training. Like, I see people just even doing a short amount each day.
Do you have like 5-minute ones on your website?
Yep.
Yeah.
I have, I think, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and then 45 minutes.
Great.
But what matters is that it's daily. I remember, you know, I lived in an ashram for, 10 years.
What is an ashram?
Oh, an ashram's a spiritual community, and it's people that live together and sometimes work together, but practice meditation and yoga together, in this case. And it was really intense and wonderful in many ways, and also rigid. So,
really?
It just felt confining.
Really? I mean, anything can have that.
Exactly.
But what's the main intention of it usually?
To have support in going deeper into spiritual life, and also community, because, you know, I don't know people that can really keep on waking up and do it like in a cave. I just feel like we need to do it with each other.
Yeah. It's hard to, like, ashrams are like few and far between. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you go on ashram.org or ashram.com to find out where your nearest ashram is, but they seem few and far between, and I just, like, my hope and my desire and my wish as a child is that everybody together would be able to start some type of practice, you know, for themselves, for their mind, for their heart, you know, to elevate themselves.
Everybody to do it, and we don't need an ashram or that kind of a structure.
No, those are amazing.
To get together and get quiet together and then share what goes on.
They don't even need me, you know. No, you just need yourself. You need to make the choice for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, and it really helps to have others that understand and are motivated, because when we lose energy for it, somebody else can help remind us. Yeah, which is really, really cool.
Good friend.
Exactly. So, but the challenge with meditation that many people run into is they think they're either doing it wrong or they run into hard stuff that they don't know how to navigate. And that the second meditation I want to do is when the going gets really rough. Then how do you meditate with that?
Sometimes sometimes I'll meditate or do something that really causes me to be present, and I cry.
Exactly.
Because because there's some pain there from something. Yeah. You know, and I cry, and I think tears are a great physical manifestation of release.
I agree.
They're it's releasing all of, like, it's physical form of pain and fear. And so crying is amazing. Like, if you cry, you're just letting it go. You know, it's that physical manifestation, and it's toxin. It's coming out of your body. You can cry when you're really happy. That's also, crying is like a you know, when you're joyous, I think, is a good thing as well. And that represents how great the joy is. And the love, you know, the love. Yeah. But I notice sometimes that, like, I'll wake up or I'll come back from a meditation and I'll have tears in my eyes, you know, because I need to, like, let go of some things, or things. When I finally, like, get to my heart, I realize, you know, there's some things that I've been dealing with or struggling with or fear or what have you, and I let it go, and it kind of manifests through a tear.
I'm right there with you. I find that when we get to the crying, it means that we've actually contacted the vulnerability and been kind with it. Yeah. It's like usually we're running away from the vulnerability. We just don't want to go there. We think it's going to be too much. Yeah. You know?
It is a lot.
It is huge. And sometimes we can't go there. Sometimes it makes sense to say, you know, later, thank you. Yes. I don't have the
time or
resilience or energy or whatever.
And people have lives and children and jobs and, you know, real things. Like, they don't even have time to do this, you know? Yeah. But you don't have to do this in any large way. And we're all given 24 hours a day. You can take a few moments for yourself. You should take a few moments for yourself, no matter your situation. And just, you know, love yourself first and foremost. And this is a part of love. And, like, people say it's not spiritual, and in a way I think it is spiritual, because if you're taking care of yourself, I think that's a beautiful spiritual thing.
I agree. I feel like unless we take care of ourselves, it's like the greatest truths are the ones we forget. Unless we can love the life that's right here, we really can't embrace others. Yeah. And one of the reasons I like calling mindfulness a real kind witness is the Chinese calligraphy for mindfulness is present heart. It's like, can we have a present heart, to the life that's here and to each other? And one of the times, you know, I do a lot of teaching on how to develop that kindness towards ourselves, because we're so caught in the self-critic. I mean, people have such a hard time being kind to themselves and liking themselves.
Compassion.
And one of the times that I'm most discovered in myself a way to work with that was, I've been teaching, and I had a lot of, big classes and so on. I would teach about love and embracing everybody. And I was going through the end of my marriage. And I remember doing this class, and it was real high, and then coming home and getting in this like down and out fight with my to-be ex, and saying things that were ex-husband. I was about to get divorced. Saying things that I totally regretted, and then going off by myself and saying, I can't believe it. Here I am, what a hypocrite, and I just spiraled down, Katie. I got to this place of such such self-aversion, because it felt so...
Despair.
It wasn't exactly despair. It was like feeling like, how is it possible I could be teaching this stuff and then treat him this way and be so caught, So
I do it all the time. I try the best I can, and then sometimes something
we just lose it.
Ego takes over.
Exactly.
All this stuff takes over that I'm trying to re-educate, conditioning takes over, all these thoughts and ideas take over, and I fall short, but I know that like I can bounce back from that. I gotta have compassion, and everybody should have compassion for themselves.
But the trick is, how do you get there? Like, you found your way to then forgiving yourself or being compassionate. For most people can spend not days, but years completely completely at war with themselves. Yeah. So in that...
I spent years.
What's that?
I spent years.
You spent years. Well, me too.
I think I spent, many, many years. I think I spent maybe a decade.
Yeah. Yeah. It's...
and I didn't even know it.
That's the thing. That's why I call it the Trance of Unworthiness. We don't get how at war we are with ourselves and how much it's affecting. I mean, we can't be intimate with others if we're at war with ourselves.
No.
Well, in this situation, I already knew a lot about meditation, and I was, trying to be the kind witness and watch all this stuff go on. Nothing was working. I was pulling all my tricks. So then I had a son who was like 3 years old. He's your age, by the way, which is kind of cool. And
Hi.
his name's Narayan.
Hi, Narayan.
Yeah, Narayan, which is the water element, which is really flowing and open, inclusive. And anyway, I thought to myself, if Narayan was caught in some big pain, how would I be relating to him? And I knew right away, I'd put my hands on his cheek and say, sweetheart, it's okay. So I did it. Like I sat there and, just said those words. I said, it's okay, sweetheart. And I just started saying words as if I would to my son. And that's when the tears started coming. Because as soon as we can be kind towards the suffering in us, that's when we start melting the armor. And that's when it's actually, we start tapping our wisdom and the truth that's in us. So ever since then, that's how I teach people about self-compassion. I say, get in touch with what's going on, but then offer it kindness in a real outward way. Like, say the words or use the touch.
I know. I think about, and that's like a really great exercise is if you have a kid or you have a niece, and I think about my niece Stella, and like she's 3 years old, and I just think about her, and I think, what would I do to like make sure she's safe or care for her? I would do anything, and just like holding her face, like if you can put yourself in that position.
Exactly.
And like I think about myself as a little kid, and it's like I would never treat myself like I would treat Stella.
Yeah.
I would never do that. So I think that's a really good exercise.
So that's the one I want to kind of lead everyone through.
Okay.
Because it gives everyone a chance to practice. Because I found if you can be kind to yourself and present, you can open to others. One man was he had anger was his thing.
Yeah.
And he was a lieutenant colonel in the Army, and he had to do an anger management course. His boss made him. It had mindfulness and compassion in it.
Yeah.
So here he was, this guy in the Army doing this course. He goes to a supermarket, and he's got just a couple of items to get, but the woman in front of him has a full cart of stuff.
Oh, no.
Wait. It's the other way around.
Okay.
He has a full, she only has one or two items, but she's in his line, and she doesn't go into the express line. So he's really frustrated.
Don't go into the express line.
So listen to this. Not only that, she has a child, and when it's her turn, she gives the child to the clerk, and they're oohing and eyeing over the child, and he's sitting there, and he's an important guy, and he's got a lot to do, and he's really busy. So his anger starts going, like really intense, like a ticking clock. So he's about to explode, and they're doing this, and he goes, oh yeah, mindfulness, compassion, kind witness, So he starts bringing attention in, and he feels the anger, and underneath that fear, like, I won't get everything done and my life will crumble fear.
Sure.
And then he just brings a kind attention. And then when he opens his eyes, he looks at the little girl that the clerk is holding. She's kind of cute, It's when it's his turn. They leave. He said to the clerk, that little girl was really adorable. And the clerk beamed. She said, oh, well, that was my daughter, actually. My mother brings her over twice a day because my husband was killed in Afghanistan. So I get to have a little time with my daughter. And it's like he could pause, become a witness within, and then be present. And how often do we just steamroll through things and not see who's here, because we haven't paused? So to me, training in self-compassion is training in loving our world. Yeah. And we need it.
It's amazing. He got that, like he would have missed that.
He would have missed that.
He would have missed that beautiful moment
of really seeing the truth. Because we just are in a movie. We're in our own mental movie, what's going on. And who's the star of the movie? Moi. What I want, what I need. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's amazing how yesterday, I had a really wonderful moment where I was, trying to be unguarded and share all the things that I'm fearing or, and just move through them.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, when you search for truth, it really presents itself.
Yeah.
It really presents itself. It's like, that's the movie.
Yes.
That's the movie. Like, the truth is there. And, I pulled this card that I had pulled. They have these angel cards. Mm-hmm. And 2 years ago, I pulled this card, and it said authenticity. Mm. And I was like, all right, that's my next journey. That's a little nudge from the angels. I need to just be more authentic. And what does that look like for me, And I guess this is what it is. And, at the end, I pulled the next card, a card, and it said freedom. Mm. And I was just so moved because it was like, now I can have the freedom to be authentic. I really feel that because, to be authentic, it's really scary to be authentic.
It's really scary.
It's really scary because people don't really, I don't know if we've created a world that allows you to be authentic, but I have to let that go and I have to let me be authentic. And that's my journey, and it's amazing that, I'm trying to meditate and trying to do those things, and every once in a while I get these messages, of truth and confirmation, like that situation, that, this work will show you the truth.
It totally will show you the truth. And the more you're authentic, the more you are free. It goes both ways.
Yeah. That's an amazing story.
Yeah.
It's an amazing story.
Yeah. Well, it's training, like he was training. And it's like our habit is just to speed through the moment.
Yeah.
And we need to do this. So you want to practice for a few moments?
I would love to practice.
Okay.
If you guys are joining us now, this is Tara Brach, and she's going to lead us through another meditation that you can do at home. You don't need to know anything. Just listen.
So in this one, you can close your eyes, but I'm going to ask you questions.
Okay.
And have you speak.
Okay.
And share. Since you're on the vulnerability ride, open to exposing yourself to the universe. Here we
That's
go.
like a ride with no seatbelt.
Yeah, exhilarating, isn't it?
Sure.
And there is a seatbelt in a sense in terms of there is a holding space.
Yes.
And the holding space is heart. I
Yes.
think you can feel that.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, so just as you are, rest back, relax, take a few nice deep full breaths, and let the breaths collect you.
Can people at home answer these questions for themselves too?
In fact, everything I'm doing now with Katy is for you. What I'm going to invite you to do is start by taking some long, deep in-breaths and exhale fully, just to collect your attention. You might sense with the in-breath that you're just opening to receive, and with the out-breath, a letting go. And then just let your breath resume in its natural rhythm. And take a moment if there's any obvious areas of tension, just to see what you can let go of. What I'd like you to do is just scan and sense if there's some place in your life where there's a repeating kind of place of getting stuck, where you regularly find that you're some way reactive, that you'd like to have more freedom around. And it might involve other people, it might involve relationship, it might involve work, but it might involve a more kind of obsessive or addictive behavior. And this is for any of you. Is any place you feel stuck, or maybe you get down on yourself, where you don't like the way you are operating. And just take some moments to sense if there's a place like that that you'd like to bring a kind witnessing to. And then we'll do it together. So, do you have one in mind, Katy?
Yes.
Can you say something very general about it, just so I have am in it, within riverbanks in terms of asking you the next questions? Judgment. So judgment is a fantastic one. Most everybody I know could do judgment. So a place where you get judgmental and get hooked on it, and in those moments are creating separations, putting someone else down or putting yourself down. And to bring a situation to mind close up, as if you're watching a movie, bringing your attention right to the frame of the movie where you feel most stuck, where you feel most caught in those emotions that are judging. And if there's another person involved, see what that person looks like and remember the space you're in. And you can keep your eyes closed, but just nod when you feel like you've got that. Yeah. So the beginning is just to recognize and just acknowledge, okay, so this is a stuck place, that there's a witness in you that's just doing that right now. It's okay, so this is a place where the old conditioning kicks in and grabs me. And just let it be there. Not to add more judgment to the judgment. Yeah. So the next piece is to sense, if you could sense under the judgment, what's most calling for your attention? What's the mood or energy or emotion that's driving the judgment? Is there a sense of anger? Is there a sense of hurt? And just see if you can feel into your body and sense, well, what's the worst part about this? Like what is really bothering me and driving me to judgment? And for others, if your stuck place has to do with fear, or anger, or hurt, see if you can feel in your body where it's living. What's the most vulnerable place in you that has to do with judgment? What's under it? What's your sense? And what are you aware of?
What am I aware of?
Yeah, what are you aware of is going on right now?
I'm just observing it
You're observing it.
and asking why.
If you had to let go of the judging or the blaming, what would you have to feel that's difficult?
Anger or jealousy.
Yeah. So let the anger be as big as it wants to be. It's really useful just to say, okay, it's fine. This is what's next. Whatever comes up when you're witnessing, the essence of witnessing is to agree to feel it, not to make anything wrong. Okay, so there's anger. And what are you noticing right now?
It's loud.
I'm sorry?
It's loud.
It's loud anger. So let it be loud. What is the angry place in you believing?
Something that's not true.
Mm-hmm. But it's believing something, isn't it?
Maybe that I can't be that way.
That you can't be that way. So what are you aware of when you consider that?
Sadness.
So again, with witnessing now, to witness the sadness, but it's an embodied witnessing, to feel it and sense where it's living. And say, yes, this too. And you might even put your hand on your heart. It's just the way we talked about, and sense that you're keeping company with the sadness. And if you give permission for the sadness to be as much as it is, then what are you aware of?
It's okay.
It's okay?
It's okay.
Yeah. So is there any message of kindness that sadness needs from you right now?
It's okay, and that you can. You can't be that way.
It's okay, and that you can't be that way.
You can.
You can. Beautiful. So just take some moments to offer that message to your own heart with as much care as you can. And as you're doing that for all of you, even if it feels a little strange, you might experiment with what happens if you just gently put your hand on your heart and sense that you're befriending yourself. And even let the touch be tender and light. And feel that you're offering your own inner being a message of kindness. And just sense what message, what words. It might be, as I used, it's okay, sweetheart, or it might be just simply, it's okay, or I'm here and I'm listening. There's a huge change in our lives when we shift from the critic or the judge to genuinely befriending ourselves. So just taking a few more full breaths right now. When you're ready, opening your eyes. How are you doing, sweetie? You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. That was so good. That's so great. It's a little healing along the way. I'm excited to see my friends, my family, and my loved ones.
That is so cool. And you know what's so, just listening to that, it's like you brought kindness like this, and then your heart went and embraced all these others.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And that's what happens, is that, you know, when we start bearing witness with kindness here, it just naturally starts including others.
Yeah.
And we get to see the goodness in others.
Yeah.
Like there's, Arne Garbarg said, to love someone is to learn the song in their heart and sing it to them when they've forgotten.
Mm. To learn the song in their heart and to sing it to them
when they've forgotten.
When they've forgotten.
Because we all forget, you know.
Sure.
And so you get to open your heart to yourself, and then you get to remind each other of, you know, the beauty that's here. Such a gift.
That's why friendship is so fun.
That's what?
Why friendship and companionship is so fun.
Totally.
Thank you so much for today, and thank you for coming and sharing all this with everyone. I am ready to, as I say, not just seize the day, Caesar salad the day.
I love it.
Thank you so much.
It's totally a treat to be with you, dear.
And everybody go check out Tara Brach's website, TaraBrach.com, Tara Brach, and follow her on Twitter. I am going to follow you on Twitter. I need to follow Neil deGrasse Tyson on Twitter as well. I'm reminding myself of all these things. But I'm living in the moment.
I feel
with
it.
you.
You're both doing it both.
Thank you so much, Tara.
Let me put this down and give you a real hug.
Thank you.